Hi everyone, this is FrostDragon, and today I'm starting a Civilization 2 campaign. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Now, I've been playing a lot of Civilization lately, and I have, you know, tuned my strategy a little bit, and I think finally now I have what it takes to try to win. Now, one of the things that I'm going to do differently on this playthrough is I'm going to focus, depending on where I start, of course. I'm going to focus a little bit less on military when the game starts. Now, normally when I was playing my Civ 2 playthroughs lately, I'd start building military like crazy right away. And when you're playing on a large world map, there's a lot of area to expand to, and even if you build a large military, it'll take you 500 years to get to your neighbor in some cases. So depending on where I start, depending on where my neighbor is, depending on a lot of things, I may decide to focus on military a little bit more. But basically what's going to happen is I'm just going to be in a rapid expansion phase. I'm going to try to expand as fast as possible. Now, I'm taking Romans as usual because, hey, it's the Romans, you know? Romans kick ass. My name is going to be Frostius Caesar. I thought of that all by myself. It's saying here that I have knowledge of irrigation, mining, roads, which everyone gets. Now, normally they might give you a technology or two or three. I don't know. I never really paid attention much, but in this case, they're giving me bronze working, so that's a pretty good technology to start with. That's maybe going to help me to get situated right off the bat. Now, uh, I'm just starting this game. I have no idea what's going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to start in Europe. I don't know if I'm going to start in North America. I don't know if I'm going to start in Africa, Asia. Who knows? But I've got my preferred spots. However, I'm going to take whatever the game gives me and I'm going to try to do my best with it. I'm playing on Emperor, so this could be very difficult. It could end up being extremely difficult. Okay, so right off the bat, it looks like I'm in sort of a central-ish location, not far from the equation, right, not far from the equator. I'm starting on a coast, on a river. It's going to be a good spot to develop some trade. However, it's not going to be really great for production, but that's not a big deal. As long as I can get the empire off the ground. Judging by the look of this starting location, I'm going to say it looks like it could be North America. It doesn't look like South America, though you never know. It might be Africa. Doesn't look like it's going to be Australia. It could be Asia. Could be part of Europe. I'll find out within the next few turns. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and build my city right where I started. This looks like a good spot to me anyways. I like how there's a lot of river tiles in the radius. That's going to give me a lot of trade and possibly help me to fund this expansion that I'm talking about. So as always, I'm going to take a warrior. I've changed around some of the icons, clearly. I'm using some of the terrain icons from I forget what the name was, but anyways, I've changed around the forest icons. I've changed around the water icons. I've changed around a lot of the unit icons. I want to make a few more changes. I was actually looking at the units earlier, and I want to tweak a few things. All right, so this is the first turn. Started my city, pretty standard. When I get my first warrior done, I'm probably going to pop that hut because there's a very small chance, if any, that it's going to be a barbarian. Normally, you get at least 3 or 4 huts minimum before the RNG will spawn you a barbarian. However, I'm gonna start this off. I'm gonna let it run, and hopefully this will be the best game I ever played. Hopefully I'll play this better than any game of Civ I've ever played with all the knowledge I've collected and soaked up over the last so many years. So, as I've said in my previous videos, normally my attitude in science is to go straight for magnetism to try to get control of the sea. However, depending on where I start, I feel like that's kind of honestly, the sea is not that important. There's so much, maybe in other maps, but in this map, in a world map, there's so much land to take over. You really have to base your entire strategy off expansion. So I feel like pottery is going to be a pretty safe bet. Should have my warrior soon. There he is. So I've gotten pottery. Now normally right off the bat I'm going to go for mathematics and I'm going to start building catapults. However, horseback riding could be useful for exploration, depending on where I'm starting. I'm going to take alphabet though, just to play it safe for the moment. Of course, I found some mercenaries, so this is going to allow me to skip right ahead and start a settler because I've already got 2 military units, so this could be enough to get me going now. Now that I've explored a little further, I will say that this area that I've started in, it looks like it could be Asia. It's looking like it's possibly that I've started in Asia, which would be a good thing. Asia is a great place to start. I think Europe and Asia are the two best places to start. I think Africa is probably the next best, and then Australia can be good depending on how you play it. And then I don't like starting in North or South America. I don't like starting in the Americas. I find that Americas, you're kind of limited. You're isolated. You don't get to contact people. You don't get to trade science early on. So I feel like there's a lot of obstacles with a start in the Americas. Um, yeah, I mean, it's looking like this could be Asia. It's looking like Asia, which would be good. This would give me a fair chance to a pretty good fair chance to win. Yep. Look, that's Korea. Okay, so I've started basically in China. If I play this out properly, I have a very good chance of winning because it's a really excellent place to start, especially if I don't have any neighbors who are super close by. There's something wrong. I don't know. There seems to be something wrong with the hotkeys. It's alright though, I'll deal with it. I'll just deal with it later. Every time I press C, it's because I started the game with caps lock on, I think. I'll just have to play without it for a bit, anyways. Alright, so I'm in Asia. Tons of good places to start, or to build. Look at that. Okay, so got a whale, some hills. So right here actually is a good place for a city, possible. Maybe here actually. I should know the map basically by heart right now, but at least I know it fairly well. Of course, the resource squares are randomized. Why wouldn't I? Alright, so in order to get catapults, I need masonry. However, I have a feeling I'm I'm isolated. I don't think my neighbors are nearby. I think I should go straight for map making and try for expansion. Get some expansion. I want to get horseback riding too as early as possible. I need something good here. Alright, so this isn't bad. What I'm going to do with this guy is I'm going to send it back immediately. I'm going to make him explore a little bit, but I need to explore around Rome. I'm going to have to build a city soon, and I haven't even really explored the area well enough to be able to choose a good city. What river is this? I'm not sure. Okay, so might as well take a look here. Alright, so settler will be done momentarily. There's not much I can do to help it. Please be something good. Warrior code. That works. Alright, settlers are built. Now, should I build another one? Warrior. I'm just gonna have to make a choice here. Oh my god, this is gonna... I guess that works. I feel like it's better just to get the city out as soon as possible, rather than to fuss about trying to get a good location. I'd say, yeah, I guess. Might as well get the coastal city if I'm gonna try to go seaborne. So if I feel like if I'm smart and I play this out properly, I can colonize Australia pretty quickly. As long as somebody hasn't started there. If somebody has, I can still get all the islands. And then I can go to Alaska, because even if somebody starts in North America, often they take a long time to finally colonize Alaska. Usually it's pretty like late game, and a lot of times I find Alaska is still available. So I'm not going to do anything drastic. I'm just going to keep playing a standard build. Look at this. Okay, I can't keep playing like this. Alright, I'm going to come back in about 2 minutes. Please bear with me. Thank you for watching. Part 2 incoming.